By then, we had no court of appeal. Later, we had the Western Nigeria Court of Appeal. Thus, the Supreme Court was fed by the high courts directly, and we did not have up to 20 high courts in the entire federation as at then. Today, we have 37 high courts which represent the 37 states, including Abuja. This is without their divisions. In the federal capital, we have over 30 high court judges. This is replicated in the states. I do not know how many courts we have in Lagos, Ibadan, Benin, Enugu, Kaduna, etc. All these deliver judgments in holds, and 90% of them end up in the Supreme Court. We have the Federal High Court in almost all the states of the Federation. We have the National Industrial Court. Every 4 years, I do not know how many political cases end up in the Supreme Court. There are 16 divisions of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, Sokoto, Yola, Jos, Makurdi, Enugu, Calabar, Owerri, Port Harcourt, Benin, Akure, Ilorin, Ekiti, and Ibadan. While these courts were amputating, the Supreme Court remained immutable. It remained single, jealously single. This single Supreme Court can no longer withstand the avalanche of judgments that come from these various cadres of courts. The realities and dynamics of the present-day judicature makes it imperative that the Supreme Court must break into divisions. This is my personal opinion. It is suggested I will begin by having 3 divisions, one in Enugu, Ibadan, and another in Abuja or Kaduna. We accept that there is the very valid fear of conflict of decisions. But that did not stop us from having divisions of the Court of Appeal. And even as the present practice, we have different panel seats. Different decisions are also given by different panels. But when there is a conflict in decisions, the most senior justice of the Supreme Court should be empaneled to decide that issue. This is only a suggestion. It is not binding. But obviously, my lords, before this, but obviously, something drastic and urgent must be done to obviate this inglorious delay. A situation where in 10 years, an appeal has not been disposed of in the Supreme Court leaves much to be desired. Well, we're still on the Supreme Court. We call on the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria to review the directive limiting the number of juniors accompanying senior advocates of Nigeria to the Supreme Court to not more than 4. This is commendable, my lord. This is because at times you come to court and the team of senior advocates appearing in a matter will appear leading 30 to 40 lawyers. These 30 to 40 lawyers will occupy 15 other seats with their bags, wigs, and so on, for their friends who maybe are still at home. Very senior members of the bar will come to court and will not find a place to sit down. And the juniors, what we see today, will not give an old man a seat. He will put his wig on the seat, and the girlfriend is still at home, maybe rubbing something on the lipstick. And a seat is reserved, and an old lawyer is standing up. Well, we suggest, sir, that this be reviewed to 10, so that if there are 5 senior advocates, 2 is assisting 1, 2 is assisting 1. In conclusion, my lord, let me once more, on behalf of my brethren's sake, assure that we shall be fighting champions. If we had negative excesses as ordinary counsel, we are sure that they will be shared with our woolen gowns. If we had none, we also assure that this silk robe we have each adorned today shall not be tainted. After all, saints are sinners who have repented and who have refused to relapse to sin. Thank you, my lords. But like I said, sir, my name is Oba Madabuchi, and I'm a senior advocate.
Thank you very much. Ladies and Madabuchi, very apt name too. Madabuchi. Yes, yeah. The, an unusual thing that I may have to do now, and that happens to relate to what the Learned Attorney General said about vacation. It's not the first time he has said so in this court. This is the second time I've heard him say so. Why I didn't include it in this year's last year is because I had occasion to it on one-on-one and told him why it is not possible. And the actual beneficiary of that well thought out policy. So, but for him to come back with it, I will only tell you to go think about it and talk about it. But imagine this scenario. You have the Court of Appeal sitting in divisions. Sometimes, like when we opened the Ilorin division of the Court of Appeal, we were 3, and we remained 3 for years. In such a situation, you have justices going on leave, one in April, the other one in May, another one in March. What happens to the cases in that division? You have the Supreme Court. We sit in panels. And if this same thing plays out, what happens? Then the jackass of all, the High Court judge, who has all the cases, the workload. And you say he should go on appeal on leave any month that he likes. Okay, he goes, he sits in Caro division. He goes on leave for whatever 1 month or 2 months. That court is shut down. But other divisions, Nyanya is working. Every other place is working. Who suffers for it? Except the legal practice. I will work. If in court A, he must be appearing in court B. Likewise, the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeal. And based on experience, the legal practitioner, except you force him, he doesn't take leave. No, he will work until. That is the truth. So, but when the system is operated in such a way that there is a shutdown of the judiciary between this month and that month, everybody involved is compelled to take a rest. The only person who will not want to take a rest are the junior ones who will be patronizing the magistrate courts and the area courts, because that side they go on normal civil service leave. So I want you to think about it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but you see, you look at the judicial officer, it's already overworked, and you are still complaining about his 2 months vacation. what is happening? So think about it, but know that it is for the benefit of the profession itself that that system was put in place. It is a well thought out system. But if you want to change it, no problem. Yeah. So that's why I said, of course. Yes, let me say no, Kuku. Wanted to say something?
Just to remind your lordship that the National Assembly, they've gone on recess for how many months?
Oh,
And to remind your lordship again that this formal vacation, in fact, demanded by members of the bar
Yes.
in 1976, so as to prevent lawyers from dying prematurely.
yes.
So let me say that we will not we will not agree with, but we will not. It's our guy, it's the leader of the bar. But my lord, we will talk to him.
Okay.
We would the president will talk to him,
All right.
and so we will not go along with that. I want to be on holiday sometime.
Thank you. So when we had that maiden lecture for a body of senior advocates in Lagos, I used that opportunity to try to talk about the need for that, because it was mentioned there too. So anyway, that is the position. With that item now, with the speech from Leonard SAN Obama Duabuchi SAN. We've come to the conclusion of this special court session, and the chief registrar has some announcements to make.
Is to announce that we have come to the end of this program, and there will be a refreshment to our invited guests at the entrance foyer of the Honorable Justices at the ground floor of the Supreme Court. Thank you. Yeah, the court will now rise.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Sir. Okay. Oh my. Pedi, pedi.